Welcome to Power to Unlocked. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches everyone, whether you realize it or not, the art of manipulation. Have you ever felt like someone pulled the strings behind your decisions, like your thoughts or actions weren't really your own? What if I told you there's a way to break free from those invisible chains forever? How to never be manipulated again isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a survival skill in today's complex world. We're about to explore the timeless wisdom of one of history's most infamous minds, Niccolò Machiavelli. Known for his sharp, often ruthless insights into power and human nature, Machiavelli wrote about manipulation long before our modern era of social media, politics, and psychological tricks. His lessons might sound cold at first, but beneath that lies a guide to recognizing and defending yourself against manipulation that you can apply today. Imagine waking up to a reality where you control your own choices, where you see through the lies and tactics others use to bend you to their will. Picture the confidence of understanding not just what manipulation looks like, but how to guard against it, how to protect your mind and your heart from being exploited. This isn't just about avoiding being fooled, it's about reclaiming your power, your voice, your freedom. But what does Machiavelli really teach us about manipulation? It's not just about cunning or deceit. It's about understanding the rules of human behavior, the subtle games people play to gain advantage. It's about learning the signs, those invisible cues and patterns that reveal when someone is trying to control you without your consent. And most importantly, it's about building your own fortress of mental strength, so no matter how skillful or persuasive the manipulator, they can't touch you. In this video, we'll unpack Machiavelli's core ideas and translate them into real practical advice you can use every day. From spotting emotional traps to recognizing power plays disguised as kindness, we'll walk through scenarios that anyone can relate to, whether at work, in relationships, or even online. You'll see how manipulation hides in plain sight, how it's woven into conversations and actions, and how you can learn to stand firm. But be warned, the truth isn't always comfortable. Sometimes the people closest to us use manipulation without us even knowing. Sometimes the tricks are so subtle that they slip past even the most careful minds. And as we peel back these layers, the question becomes, are you ready to see the world as it really is? Because once you do, there's no going back to being naive. Stay with me, because we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll reveal the hidden tactics that manipulators rely on and how to spot them before they take hold. The battle for your mind has already begun, and knowing Machiavelli's strategies could be the key to winning it. So, get ready. This journey will change how you see yourself, others, and the power struggles that shape our lives. How to never be manipulated again isn't just a lesson from the past. It's the weapon you need for the future. Don't miss what comes next. The world around us is filled with unseen forces pulling at the strings of our decisions. Sometimes it's a friend's well-meaning advice, other times it's a colleague's subtle nudge, or even a social media post crafted to shape how you think and feel. Manipulation isn't just about obvious lies or dramatic schemes. It's woven into everyday life, often disguised as kindness, logic, or care. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. The more invisible it is, the harder it becomes to recognize, and the deeper its grip on us. Machiavelli understood this better than most. He lived in a time when power was everything, and people wielded influence through clever words and hidden moves. His insights weren't just about kings and politicians, they're about human nature itself. He showed that behind every smile can be a calculated plan, and behind every gesture, a motive waiting to unfold. Understanding this doesn't make you cynical, it makes you prepared. It teaches you to question, to look deeper, to trust your instincts when something feels off. But what makes manipulation so effective? It's the way it preys on our fears, desires, and need for approval. We all want to belong, to feel safe, to be valued. Manipulators use these basic human needs like keys to open doors inside our minds. They twist our feelings, confuse our thoughts, and make us doubt ourselves. The worst part, sometimes we don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. That's why learning Machiavelli's lessons is more urgent than ever. In a world flooded with information, noise, and influence, knowing how to spot manipulation is a shield. It helps you see the motives behind the masks, the strategy behind the charm. It arms you with awareness so you can say no to the pressure, no to the lies, no to being controlled. But this journey isn't simple. It asks you to face uncomfortable truths about people you trust, about situations you thought were clear, about your own vulnerabilities. It pushes you to be honest with yourself and to build strength where you might feel weak. And as we move forward, you'll discover that recognizing manipulation is only the first step. The real challenge is learning how to protect yourself and keep your freedom intact. Keep watching, because the next part will reveal the most common manipulative tactics you're likely to face, how they hide in plain sight, and what signs you can't afford to miss. The battle for your mind continues, and every insight you gain brings you closer to breaking free. Manipulation isn't just a one-size-fits-all game. It wears many faces, and understanding its variety is key to truly protecting yourself. Sometimes it's the quiet kind, small suggestions that slip into your thoughts, shaping your decisions without raising alarms. Other times, it's bold and aggressive, demanding control or obedience through fear or guilt. The conflict isn't just with the person trying to manipulate you, it's also inside your own mind, where doubt, confusion, and hope battle for space. Think about a close relationship where you suddenly start feeling unsure. Why did you say yes to something you didn't want? Was it because you truly wanted to help, or did someone use your kindness against you? The emotional tug-of-war can make you question your judgment. This internal struggle is as real as any external battle. Machiavelli's teachings warn us that manipulation often works best when it's invisible, when you can't tell where your own thoughts end and the other person's influence begins. There's also the subtle conflict of trust. Who do you really believe? Friends, family, co-workers. Everyone can unknowingly or purposely play a part in this game. Sometimes manipulators are masters of disguise, hiding their true intentions behind smiles, compliments, or even tears. You may find yourself torn between wanting to trust someone and fearing that they're using you. This creates a painful tension that's hard to escape. On another level, society itself feeds this conflict. The world is filled with messages designed to influence what you buy, how you vote, or even how you feel about yourself. Advertisements, news, social media, all are tools in a massive web of influence. Machiavelli's ideas about power and control extend beyond personal relationships into this wider battlefield. When you start to see manipulation everywhere, it can feel overwhelming, like you're constantly under attack. But this awareness is the first step toward freedom. At the same time, there's a risk of turning this knowledge against yourself. Becoming hyper-aware can lead to suspicion, making it harder to connect or accept help. It's a delicate balance, protecting yourself without shutting out the world or isolating yourself. This inner tension plays out daily, and navigating it takes practice and courage. Consider also the role of vulnerability. Manipulators often seek out those moments when you're weak, tired, or emotionally exposed. They sense when defenses are down and push harder. Recognizing your own vulnerabilities isn't a weakness. It's a powerful tool for defense. Machiavelli's lessons encourage us to build resilience, not just to avoid manipulation, but to understand where we might be open to it. As this conflict deepens, you may notice patterns emerging in your life, moments when you felt pressured, confused, or unsure. These aren't coincidences, they are clues, signals from your mind trying to alert you. The challenge is learning to listen and act on them. In the coming sections, we'll explore these different angles, the emotional, social and psychological battles that play out beneath the surface. We'll also look at stories of people who faced manipulation and the choices they made, good and bad. These stories will help you see how real and complex this struggle is. The tension remains. Who holds the real power, the manipulator or the one being manipulated? And what happens when the lines blur? Stay with me, because understanding these conflicts is the key to breaking free, and the answers might surprise you. Every day, the invisible battle grows stronger. You start noticing the cracks, the uneasy feeling when someone's words don't quite match their actions, the subtle pressure to say yes when every part of you wants to say no. It's like walking a tightrope, balancing trust and doubt, hope and fear. The manipulator's grip tightens without you realizing it, and the harder you try to resist, the more tangled the web becomes. Your mind races, replaying conversations, trying to decode hidden meanings. Was that compliment sincere or a trap? Was that request a favor or a setup? The lines blur. Friends become suspects. Familiar places feel like arenas of power struggles. And inside, the conflict escalates. Your heart wants connection, but your mind screams for caution. Machiavelli warned that power is rarely straightforward. The ones who seek to control you are patient and clever. They wait for the perfect moment, when you're tired, distracted, vulnerable, to strike. Their tactics are like shadows, slipping past defenses and twisting reality. You feel caught between fighting back and losing yourself in the struggle. And yet, something shifts. A flicker of awareness sparks inside you. That uneasy feeling turns into clarity, and suddenly the puzzle pieces begin to fall into place. You see the patterns, the repeated moves, the hidden agendas. But with this clarity comes the heaviest weight, the question of what to do next. How do you stand up when the forces seem too strong? When the people you care about might be part of the game? The tension reaches its peak. You're on the edge of a decision that could change everything. The next move will decide if you stay trapped in manipulation's web or begin the path to freedom. But the outcome remains uncertain, the stakes higher than ever. Hold tight. The moment is almost here. Just as you think you're beginning to see the full picture, the ground shifts beneath you once again. The clarity you fought so hard to grasp starts to blur, and suddenly the lines between ally and adversary twist into something you never expected. The person you thought was your greatest support, the one who seemed to stand by your side through thick and thin, reveals a secret agenda. It's a betrayal that cuts deeper than any manipulation you've faced before, shaking the very foundation of your trust. This new revelation doesn't just complicate things, it threatens to undo everything you've built. The stakes rise sharply. Now, not only do you have to protect yourself from the obvious manipulators, but you must also navigate a maze where deception hides behind familiar faces. The game becomes darker, more dangerous. Every word, every gesture is loaded with hidden meaning. You're forced to question not just others, but your own instincts. Were you blind to the signs all along? Or did you simply want to believe in the best of people despite the warnings? Machiavelli teaches us that power thrives on unpredictability. The moment you think you have control, the game changes. This second twist pulls you deeper into a world where manipulation is layered and complex. It's not just about recognizing tricks anymore. It's about anticipating moves, reading between the lines, and preparing for the unexpected. As you wrestle with this fresh betrayal, the pressure mounts. Your mental defenses strain under the weight of suspicion and doubt. Isolation creeps in, making the fight feel lonelier. The very act of standing up becomes a battle, not just against others, but against the swirling confusion inside you. Meanwhile, the broader world keeps turning, filled with influences that echo Machiavelli's warnings. The same patterns of control you see in your personal life play out on bigger stages: politics, media, even social circles. The manipulation you face is part of a vast web, and the more you uncover, the more entangled you feel. Yet, even in the darkest moments, there's a spark that refuses to die. It's the desire for truth, for freedom from these unseen chains. That spark pushes you forward, urging you to keep searching for answers, for strength, for a way out. But the path ahead is murky. The betrayal has changed the rules, and every step must be taken with care. Trust becomes a currency more valuable and fragile than ever. The conflict escalates, the tension thickens, and the question lingers. Can you break free before the web tightens completely? Stay close. The next chapter will push this story to its limits, revealing secrets that will challenge everything you thought you knew. The fight against manipulation is far from over, and the climax is drawing near. The moment of truth arrives like a storm breaking over a quiet sea. All the tension, all the hidden struggles lead to this point where nothing can stay hidden any longer. You confront the person you trusted, the one whose betrayal threatened to unravel your world. The conversation is charged with raw emotion, sharp words, and the weight of years spent walking a tightrope between trust and suspicion. But in this clash, something unexpected happens. The manipulator's mask slips, revealing not just their intentions, but their own fears and vulnerabilities. You see that behind the control and deceit lies a person trapped by their own need for power, struggling with the same fears that have haunted you. In that moment, everything shifts. The battle isn't just about winning or losing anymore. It's about understanding, reclaiming your own strength, and breaking the cycle of manipulation. You stand firm, no longer the victim of invisible strings, but a person who has learned to recognize the game and refuses to be played. The power that once seemed so overwhelming begins to dissolve, replaced by clarity and control. But the climax doesn't stop there. As the dust settles from this confrontation, a new piece of the puzzle falls into place, one that shakes you even more. The betrayal you faced wasn't an isolated act. It was part of a larger pattern, a network of influence extending far beyond your immediate world. The manipulator you confronted was just one node in a complex web, pulling strings from behind the scenes. Suddenly, the fight isn't over. It's evolved into something bigger, something that demands even greater awareness and courage. You realize that Machiavelli's lessons aren't just warnings. They're tools for survival in a world where manipulation is everywhere. The journey you've been on is far from finished, but now you're armed with the insight and strength to face whatever comes next. The power to never be manipulated again lies not in avoiding conflict, but in embracing it with eyes wide open. As the story draws to this intense and satisfying peak, one question lingers. How far does this web reach, and who else will it touch? The final twist leaves you with a chilling reminder. The battle for your mind is ongoing, and the true mastery is in staying vigilant, ready for the next move in this endless game. With the tangled web finally exposed, the weight that once held you captive begins to lift. The path ahead is clearer, not because the challenges have disappeared, but because you've grown stronger. The manipulative forces that once controlled your thoughts now hold less power. You understand that the true defense against manipulation isn't just awareness. It's confidence, self-trust, and the courage to question what doesn't feel right. Looking back, the journey reveals important truths. Manipulation can be subtle or overt, coming from people we least expect, or from broader systems designed to influence us. Machiavelli's timeless wisdom teaches us that power thrives in shadows, but by shining a light on these shadows, we can reclaim control over our lives. This story isn't just about surviving manipulation, it's about transforming it into a source of strength. The betrayals, the doubts, the moments of confusion, they were all steps on the road to empowerment. Each conflict forced you to dig deeper, to listen more closely to your instincts, and to build a shield strong enough to resist future attempts to control you. You've learned to spot the signs, set boundaries, and protect your mental freedom. These are lessons anyone can apply, whether in personal relationships, work environments, or the overwhelming landscape of modern media. As the story closes, remember this: no one is immune to manipulation, but everyone has the power to fight back. It starts with trusting yourself and staying alert to the subtle ways influence tries to sneak in. It's about choosing your own path, even when the pressure to conform is strong. The fight for your mind is ongoing, but now you're ready. So whenever you feel those invisible strings pulling, pause and ask, who really holds the power here? With Machiavelli's insight and your newfound awareness, you can say no, break free, and take control. This is your story, your power, your freedom. Thank you for joining this journey. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden forces shaping our world. Stay sharp, stay strong, and until next time, keep unlocking your power.